everybody, welcome back. Today I'm taking a look at Sakura Wars Columns 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. The first game was released on the Saturn and both were developed and published by Sega, and as the name implies, they crossed the classic Columns series from the Mega Drive and Genesis with the Sakura Wars series, which mostly stayed in Japan where it was very popular. It might seem like a somewhat odd combination of things, a puzzle game and a series of games that combines dating sim mechanics with a strategy RPG, but as history shows us, there's pretty much nothing that you can't convert into some sort of puzzle game. There are several modes of play to choose from in Sakura Wars Columns 2, a couple of them incorporating some manner of story. If you're not familiar with the series, it centers around the Imperial Floral Assault Troop, a group of special soldiers who pilot mechs in a sort of steampunk early 20th century Japan, who use a playhouse as a front, going so far as to operate it and perform plays when not defending the Earth from various baddies. You normally play the role of Ogami, the only male member of the troop, as he interacts with the various women in the series and tries to maintain his personal relationships with them. There's a bit of that incorporated into the story mode in this game. The setup is that Iris, the youngest member of the troop, has been found murdered, and you, playing as Ogami along with the character that you choose, there are 8, go about questioning the other members of the troop in a whodunit type setup. Spoiler, she's not really dead because that would be a little fucked up. And along the way, you play them in games of columns. I'm not exactly sure what school of investigation this comes from, but it actually proves pretty effective. If you do well at talking with your chosen partner, their abilities will go up and the game gets a little bit easier. Likewise, you can bring your opponent's ability down depending on what you say to them and what kind of mood you put them in. So kind of a clever way to work in that aspect of the series into a puzzle game. Like I said, there are 8 characters to choose from who all have slightly different stats, and you play competitively, kind of like a game of Puzzle Fighter. As you clear blocks from the screen, you have a bar to the side that fills up to a max of 3 bars that allows you to flood your opponent's screen with extra blocks or clear a number of blocks from your own screen, whichever you decide to do. Aside from the story mode, there's also an arcade mode, which has you playing against all the other characters, minus the interactive segments, with the end goal of your character playing the lead in the upcoming play. There's also a challenge puzzle mode, which gives you a certain amount of moves to clear the screen of blocks or accomplish some other preset objective. And there's even an infinite mode for those of you that just want to play some classic columns. All in all, I can't really complain about the gameplay in Sakura Wars Columns. I already liked Columns to begin with, and this game just adds a couple of things to the already enjoyable gameplay of the original. The graphics and sound in Sakura Wars Columns 2 are both pretty good. You can't really expect too much from a puzzle game in the graphics department. You're going to be looking at the same screen a lot. But this is a really colorful game at least, and all of the character designs are really nice too. The story mode is presented with still images and voiceovers, the same as the main series. And it looks okay. Nothing too impressive, but I wasn't really expecting it to be. The soundtrack is just slightly remixed versions of the music from the main series, which is a good thing. The Sakura Wars games have always featured some pretty excellent music. So much so that actual Sakura Wars stage plays, complete with song and dance from the voice actors from the series, did very well in Japan. So, this game has passable graphics and more than passable music. If you've played and enjoyed Columns, then I'm pretty certain you'd like this game. It's a nice update with a fresh coat of Sakura Wars paint. Like I said, the first Sakura Wars Columns was released on the Sega Saturn, and it's basically the exact same game. So if you can play either import Saturn or Dreamcast games, and this looks like a game you'd be keen to play, I'd recommend it. It's pretty affordable these days, and it's a really fun puzzler. Check it out.